Every wrestler needs a finishing move. Otherwise, wrestling matches would never end and go on forever, trapping us all in a hellish nightmare of Irish whips and side headlock takeovers. Some wrestlers found one finisher and made it work for them, whilst
that pedigree was immaculate, bro.
have employed multiple exciting match-ending moves across their career. Talk about greedy. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are 10 wrestlers with 2 great finishers. Join us. Get it? But first, Number 10, CM Punk. In the summer of 2006, the WWE Universe was introduced to a plucky young man called CM Punk. The former Ring of Honor World Champion beats Just Incredible in his first televised match, using the Anaconda Vice to get the job done. The Vice is a modified compression chokehold, which I had to look up online. The only thing I could have told you off the top of my head was that it was named after a snake. Though the move looked effective, WWE higher-ups wanted Punk to use something else, and so he introduced the go-to-sleep to his arsenal. A fireman's carry into a knee strike to the face, the GTS quickly became the straight-edge superstar's most recognizable move. It's the move he beat John Cena with at Money in the Bank, the move he used during both of his Money in the Bank cash-ins, and the move he beat Adam Page with to win the AEW World Championship. Yes, sir, the GTS is Punk's move through and through.
It's like the FU and the F5 meet the you just kicking a nigga in the face, cause the F5 you spin a nigga, the FU what is the AA you put the nigga over, but the other shit he just kicked the shit out of you, bro. That shit's crazy.
Isn't that right, Kenta? Hey? Please don't kill me. Number 9, Sting. Did Sting steal the sharpshooter from Bret Hart, or did Bret Hart steal the Scorpion Deathlock from Sting? The answer is neither. The move was first invented by Japanese wrestling legend Riki Choshu. Now you can all stop bickering, alright? Who am I kidding? This is the internet, we're all doomed. Anyway, the Stinger did popularize the move in the United States. Take that here, man.
Death
He
drop
used it to win many of his matches during his surfer days. The move is incredibly well known now, with every Canadian wrestler forced to learn it before they can even think about stepping into a ring. When Sting came back to confront the NWO in WCW, his attitude and appearance had changed drastically. This metamorphosis was foreshadowed by a new finishing move from the Icon, which he debuted right before he disappeared. On a 1996 episode of Nitro, Sting took out the NWO imposter version of himself with an inverted DDT, aka the Scorpion Death Drop. Following this Stingception, see what I did there? The move would join the Deathlock in Sting's repertoire. The way he's going at the moment, expect him to still be using both of them at the age of 206. Number 8, Kevin Owens.
That nigga is not gonna retire ever. That nigga Sting is in his 60s, bro, still wrestling. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, he's not really going too crazy, but still, like, wrestling is tedious on your body, bro, your joints.
Whilst the Stunner is certainly a cool move, to call it Kevin Owens' finisher would do a disservice to the man who created it. Thank you, John Laurinaitis. Oh yeah, and something about Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. Thankfully, Kev has used multiple great final moves in his time. In the early days of his WWE run, Owens would use the pop-up powerbomb to push his opponents away. As an opponent was running towards him, he would chuck them up in the air, catch them in a powerbomb position, and then yeet them into the earth. Impressive, but good luck trying to do that to the Big Show. Prior to his move to McMahon Land, Owens went by his real name of Kevin Steen in various indies and, of course, Ring of Honor. The move he used to great effect there was the package pile driver.
Could not do that.
With an opponent's arms and legs hooked tightly together, Steen would drop them right on the top of their head. Though he's teased it many times, Kevin Owens has never actually hit the move in WWE. There's no way they would.
That shit is so dangerous, bro. One botch, bro, you got nigga... You killing somebody, bro. That's critical, bro.
Let him. Number 7, Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson / Daniel Bryan / Braniel Danielson has used many techniques to end his matches. Heel hooks, dragon suplexes, the bizarre and fantastic cattle mutilation submission. Mighty foes from across the globe have all fallen to these moves. The two we are talking about here are the ones he used most often in WWE. He had the LaBelle Lock, named after legendary wrestler Gene LaBelle, right from the get-go, using it to win his first championship in WWE at Night of Champions 2010. It would, of course, also be known as the yes lock, the no lock, and the maybe lock.
Yeah, they called that shit the yes lock.
I made one of those up. His second finisher, which was just called the running knee, was introduced at SummerSlam 2013.
That shit was crazy too.
This was the move he used to nail John Cena with to win their match and the WWE Championship. He would hold the belt for about 2 minutes before Randy Orton cashed in on him. Whoops. Bryan is known as both a striker and a submission
Randy Orton got to be on this.
So it makes sense that he would have a devastating one of each in his finisher's resume. The moral of this story? Don't mess with the beardy little goat. Number 6, Chris Jericho. Before you say something, the Judas effect is not on this list. Whilst it's being presented as a world beater in AEW, it's just a reverse elbow at the end of the day. I mean, I could do that. I'd probably fall over and split my trousers, but I could still do it. Jericho's best 2 finishes are also a submission and a striking move.
Nah, I was gonna say the Lion Tamer's fire, but it was one move in particular he used to do all the time when he used to go on the second rope and he'll do a backflip. That shit was hard. I don't think that's gonna be the finisher though, cause I was like he used to do that every now and then.
Old is the oldest, as Y2J has been using his signature Lion Tamer since
he did 2 different ways though.
Days.
The Walls of Jericho
is different to the Walls of Jericho is
like,
by the way. The Lion Tamer is done at a higher angle and involves Jericho jamming his knee into his opponent's back. The Walls looks pretty comfortable by comparison. When Jericho returned to WWE in 2007, he brought with him a new finisher. A jumping double knee strike to the face, the Codebreaker became his go-to match ender and quickly got over as a deadly blow. Even if you're not the Codebreaker's biggest fan, you have to admit it was better than the Breakdown, Jericho's version of the skull-crushing finale. I'd be happy if he never, ever unleashed that load of old bollocks again. Number 5, AJ Styles. Another wrestler with an embarrassingly high number of finishes to his name is the phenomenal AJ Styles. Moves like the Springboard 450 and Spiral Tap are cool.
The Springboard 450 is hard, bro. Oh, yeah, he got mad finishes, bro. That running punch, the running punch joint. Yeah, bro, he got mad
really
shits.
Get used enough to qualify for this
great
list.
wrestler.
Then there's the Calf Crusher / Calf Killer for you nerds out there, which is a cool submission, but doesn't really win matches for Styles anymore. What we're left with are 2 moves that will forever be associated with wrestling's greatest soccer mum. The phenomenal forearm, a springboard flying forearm, became AJ's weapon of choice shortly after joining WWE. Though there was some brouhaha about it replacing some of his old moves, you cannot deny just how bloody cool it looks. Especially when he hits someone with it through a table. And then there is AJ's great contribution to the sport. The absurdly wonderful, but a little bit divisive Styles Clash. Through a combination of wrestling ability and magic, AJ hoists his opponents up vertically, hooking their arms and legs before splatting them into the mat. Yeah, this move doesn't finish too many matches either anymore, but it did for a long time. Number 4, The Undertaker. The Last Ride Powerbomb was a thing of beauty. Innovated during The Undertaker's American Badass era, the dead man would lift his opponents up for a standard powerbomb, but then extend his arms up fully to add even more.
Got the choke slam, the last rod. What else he had? He had the tombstone. Yeah, Undertaker was legendary. Oh, then he used to do the old school. That wasn't really a finisher, but that was like one of his go-tos. The old school was like when he was like the American Badass Undertaker.
To the move. I mean, do you know how tall the Undertaker is?
Crazy.
Anyone taking this move fell for about 25 feet before they hit anything. Whilst
that
the Last Ride was
hurt.
really cool, it actually doesn't make our list, mainly because it wasn't Taker's finisher
American
for
Badass.
too long. The 2 moves we are looking at are his signature submission.
I forgot about bro. That lock was crazy, bro. That's when he started doing his judicial type shit, bro.
And the iconic Tombstone Pile Driver. Mark Calloway's love of MMA inspired him to introduce a realistic-looking hold into his arsenal. This is where the Hell's Gate, a modified Goga-Plata, comes from.
That was like when he was trying to like put the nigga away because like he tapped out of his finishes, so he was like, you know what? Let me get this nigga out of here. Catch you one of those, he was done.
As for the Tombstone, that has been part of Taker's character since day one. He has put away hundreds, if not thousands of opponents with that move, and it's been associated with him for over 30 years. Sometimes he even does a little jump with it, like he did at WrestleMania 26 against Shawn Michaels. Tasty. Number 3, Kurt Angle. For my
Angle
money,
lock.
the best combination of pinning move and submission
Angle
hold
slam.
finishes in wrestling history belongs to one of the very best to ever lace up a pair of...
Yeah, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Kurt Angle, bro. His moves looks so like outstanding. Like, son, he wanted to go to, bro. This nigga
Kurt
is
Angle's
nice.
pinning move is the
Angle
effortlessly
slam.
cool Angle Slam, or the Olympic Slam if you prefer. Angle would place his head under his opponent's arm before lifting them up and spinning them round simultaneously for maximum impact. See that time he hit one on Shane McMahon into some confetti for a perfect example. And then is the ankle lock, the move that
shit
makes
like it
Angle
hurt.
look like even more of a beast than he already does.
His face.
A simple hold applied to an opponent's foot, the ankle lock was always...
Don't let that nigga get on the floor. It's over. He get on the floor, bro. Yo, that shit. Bro. Wasn't that the infamous episode match where this nigga Stone Cold was bleeding, or was it somebody else that had? Cause he was bleeding, and the nigga, it had to have been Kurt Angle. He was like, nigga on the floor, like he's That shit was crazy.
One of the most painful submissions in WWE history. Angle would sell it like a madman, tensing his face and screaming his lungs out to get across how much torque he was putting into the move. And hey, if the lock on its own wasn't enough to finish someone off, then Angle would break out his ultimate weapon, the grapevine. Once you were stuck in that, Angle was simply gonna have his way with you. Not like that.
Son, that shit, bro. Look, yo, as a kid, bro, I'm like, yo, that shit, you getting one of those, bro. That shit hurt. In fact, niggas as kids, bro, we was putting niggas in them shits, bro. Nigga hurting niggas up and shit, like.
2, The Rock. If we are being completely, totally, 100% honest with ourselves, both of The Rock's most famous finishing moves kinda suck. The Rock Bottom is fine, but can lack a little oomph sometimes, and as for the People's Elbow, well, it's just an elbow drop, innit? I mean, The Rock even stops running before he hits it, cancelling out all of the momentum he gained by hitting the ropes. But you know what? I don't care, and I don't think any of you do either.
It's the sell that happens, bro. It's the sell. Like, if you got the sell, bro, he just look at the camera, take the fucking elbow pad off, throw that shit, niggas, niggas just run to, boom, like that. Yeah, that's how you could tell that son. Cause Hulk Hogan was like that too, bro. Like, his moves didn't look like that shit hurt, but like he sold it. Like, The Rock,
what the great ones, big hitters,
he could do that
in power,
for mad times. He could come back at 60 still doing that shit.
I mean, think about how many huge pops have come from Rocky wrapping his arm around someone's chest and drilling them into the mat with a uranagi. And sure, it might not actually pack a punch, but the People's Elbow is practically an American national treasure at this point. And that sums up The Rock's entire career. He got 2 finishes over through the sheer force of unparalleled.
Cause if you think about it, LA Knight, right? LA Knight, that his moves is not too crazy neither. It's the way he sell it. He be like, LA Knight. He on his rock shit, like he run, feel me? So like,
charisma. They might not look very painful or be all that legitimate, but in terms of wrestling moves, you would be hard-pressed to find a more beloved combination. Number 1, Randy Orton. Randy
RKO.
Orton used to have a truly awful
terrible
finisher. The Ozone, which MVP also used as the playmaker, was a swinging neck breaker where the wrestler doing the move would put their leg over their opponent's head. It added pretty much nothing and only succeeded in jamming the attacker's own knee into the mat.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in 2003, Orton began using the move that would make him famous. I mean, what else is there to say about the RKO? It's quick, it's brutal, it can famously be hit from out of nowhere. It is the perfect finisher. Well, unless you're Orton's lower back. Because
son be bounced. Yo, when he get on the mat, just yo, that you know what's coming. The best RKOs is when a nigga just catch you out of nowhere, bro. Though, like the infamous one where Seth Rollins went for the curve stomp and the nigga caught him, flipped up and beep. That shit was crazy. And then who was it that hit the backflip and he caught him in midair? Fuck, who was it? It wasn't Seth. It was somebody else. That was crazy too.
One all-time great finisher wasn't good enough for the Viper. He introduced another one in 2006. If Orton really needed to put someone away, then he would turn to the punt kick. What he would do was Well, he would run up to someone really fast
Kick
and
the
punch
shit
them
out
in the
of
head.
you.
Not pretty, but very effective. The punt is Orton's nuclear option for when he really wants to concuss someone. He has written countless people off TV with the move, which remains one of the most protected finishes in wrestling history.
Nah, that shit, bro. Nigga used to do that shit to all the legends too, which was fucked up, bro. Remember he did that shit to Ric Flair a few years back, like. Niggas thought he killed that nigga. So Randy Orton is a menace, bro. He one of the greatest to do it though. I hope that nigga come back.